7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes, oh, what a great step! And then he hammers it home. Broke his ankles. And bounces.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm actually bringing you guys like an off-season type of video because it technically is the Knicks off-season, and we are going to be talking about the point guard position. As you guys know, our season just wrapped up last night as we ended up losing in 5 to the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Good series to Michael the Hawks fan, Sports Live in the ATL, Caden Elvis, all the Hawks fans out there. You guys absolutely demolished us like on every phase of the ball or every side of the ball. Defense, closing out on shooters, like your defense was a lot better than I thought. Like I knew they were going to make adjustments to a Julius Randle, to an RJ, but I actually thought it was really good. You guys played discipline. You didn't really get rattled. You hit your open shots. You guys moved the basketball. You guys out-rebounded us. You guys literally killed us on every side of the basketball. Like, you really got in our heads. So I really got to give credit to the Atlanta Hawks. They're really assembling a good team, good head coach. Looks like they have their starting 5 moving forward for the next, 5 to 10 years. So, yeah, good game to Atlanta Hawks fans and the Atlanta Hawks as a whole organization. Of course, they're not watching this video, but you got to be a good sport. You just have to say the facts. The Knicks are not ready yet. We still have a lot to work on, even though I do think we have a couple nice pieces, and I like our coach moving forward, but even the coach can improve. There's always something you can improve at, but today I'm actually going to be talking about the point guard position. And it seems like there's always this big question mark every time we're entering like a brand new season or like during the off season. Okay, who are we going to get at the point guard position? Who's going to be our starting point guard entering the season? There's never full confidence of this is our point guard. You just take a look at the point guard history. Our last really good point guard was Walt Frazier. Of course, we had Mark Jackson, we had Derek Harper, we had Rod Strickland, we had Raymond Felton, we had Emmanuel Mudiay, we had Trey Burke. Frank Ntilikina is probably going to be gone. There's this whole laundry list of like former point guards. There is so many. We just can never find the solution like for longevity wise. There's some people out there that are like, oh, we can go out there, get a Chris Paul. We can go out there, get a Kyle Lowry. Those are good basketball players, but I'm tired of the stopgap guys. We need longevity at the point guard position. So today I'm actually going to be talking about, should the New York Knicks sign Lonzo Ball, as he's actually going to be a restricted free agent? So we do have an opportunity to go out there and get him if they do not end up matching our contract. I heard they don't want to pay him over like $18 million a year, something like that. But I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not going to just be like, oh yeah, he's a really good passer of the basketball, it's going to fix everything. That's just not the case at all. I'm going to keep it completely real. I'm going to really tell you the reality. I'm going to tell you the good things, the bad things that come with Lonzo Ball, certain things people really don't look at. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know down below, would you like to sign Lonzo Ball? And let's get right into it. So, of course, taking a look at Lonzo Ball, 2nd overall pick by the LA Lakers. He was a beast at UCLA, someone who could really distribute the basketball. He's an absolute wizard, plays like at the right pace, makes everyone around him better. He was even a good shooter at UCLA, but he definitely did have the funky, interesting mechanics, which we'll definitely get into later. But he ended up being the 2nd overall pick. LeVar Ball spoke it into existence. We had Magic Johnson hyping him up, like LeVar Ball was hyping him up, and let's just say he did not live up to expectations his rookie year. Good passer of the basketball, ended up being a solid defender, but his offense was atrocious, only averaging 10 points per game on poor efficiency. His jump shot looked absolutely broken, and people were calling him a bust, like literally 5 games into his NBA career, because he had so much weight on his shoulders. He was called the next Jason Kidd. He was called the next Magic Johnson. That is how much hype was on like Lonzo Ball's shoulders. So he didn't live up to expectations like his first couple years with the Lakers. His offensive game wasn't there. It seemed like he had no confidence. But I'll give him credit here when it came to the interviews and people really asking him questions. Of course, being in this big market with a lot of pressure on his shoulders, LeVar Ball saying all these things. He was always even keel. He always said the right things in interviews. So he actually ended up getting this brand new change of scenery heading over to the New Orleans Pelicans, which of course was this big time trade because you know how the Lakers acquired LeBron James. So Lonzo actually played 1 year with LeBron, but they're like, doesn't make sense to have Lonzo here. Like, we're trying to win now. We're trying to go out there and get a championship, win a championship. So if you want that big time key guy alongside LeBron, you're gonna have to trade your future young pieces. So they had to trade away a Brandon Ingram. They had to trade away Lonzo. Ball, Josh Hart, draft capital and all that to go out there and get an Anthony Davis. And I actually thought it was the perfect situation for Lonzo Ball because he seems like the even keel guy, even though he played at UCLA. Like, there's some glamour there, there's some flash, but that is college. It's not near the hype of the NBA level. There's some people that just watch March Madness. So he ended up going over to the Pelicans, and he actually really worked out over there his first year because there was players he could relate to. There was less pressure. He went to a smaller market. You could say they didn't have their coach at the time of Alvin Gentry. Now, of course, under Stan Van Gundy at that home at the head coaching position, or technically not anymore. Now he's a free agent, and there's some rumors Stan Van Gundy may be fired. Not a lot of coaches like him. But yeah, it just seemed like the confidence was there. The passing, the decisiveness, the confidence. He got better defensively. He really bulked up. There was something, though, that I really do have a concern with that I'll actually get into later, though, like with him in a New York Knicks uniform. But anyway, he ended up getting better shooter from beyond the arc. His last couple years with the New Orleans Pelicans, great trainer over there that really worked on his mechanics. His mechanics look light and day compared to like his first year in the league. So yes, he's gotten better, averaging 14 points per game. Now he's a 40% three-point shooter from beyond the arc. He looks more aggressive. He looks more confident. So now we're going to be taking a look at the fit here. So as a New York Knicks fan, because we haven't had a lot of talent the last 5 years, you want talent. You're tired of fit. So you're probably like, oh, I don't care about the fit. Give me talent. I need someone that can put pressure on the defense. If you want someone that can put pressure on the defense, go at it, score the basketball, hit clutch shots on a consistent basis, Lonzo Ball is not your guy. He's not a Kyrie Irving. He's not a Trae Young. He's not a Stephen Curry. He's not that guy that's going to work downhill every single time and score the basketball. There's one thing I really don't like about Lonzo. I do like versatile point guards that can do a little bit of everything or do a lot of everything, because I've just been greedy for a point guard because we haven't had one for such a long time. His dribble penetration really went away. He used to dribble penetrate all the time at UCLA, getting to the cup. He used to be a lot more of an aggressive basketball player. I don't know if it's because of the physicality of the NBA, but he doesn't really dribble penetrate like he did in the past, for sure. And that kind of is a concern, but hopefully Thibs could really just like push that into his brain and get him to be aggressive. But another thing like no one's really talking about is the injuries. I actually think there is a concern when it comes to the injuries. You're talking about a guy who hasn't played over 63 games in his NBA career, has had some ankle injuries. When you're under Tom Thibodeau, you're going to play a lot of minutes as a starter. You got to stay healthy. So I think that's something no one's really talking about. But getting back into the fit, like, he would be a good fit, though. I do think there's a good mixture of talent and fit, because he literally has eyes in the back of his head, his ability to see things before they happen. He could thrive in the half-court setting. He could thrive in transition. And what's really playing RJ throughout his strengths? Pushing the pace, playing fast. That's what he did at Duke with a Zion, with a Trey Jones, with a Cam Reddish. That is what RJ Barrett absolutely thrives with. So could you imagine Lonzo in the open court throwing just dimes down the court like he did to a Zion, like he did to a Brandon Ingram this past season? Like, he flourishes with that. The pick and roll between him and Mitchell Robinson, like, we've seen this time after time that it's like no one's paying attention to RJ Barrett. We're not getting him involved. He ends up getting cold sometimes. Of course, sometimes it's on him. The players aren't perfect, but sometimes he ends up being cold because he has two great possessions, but then doesn't get the basketball again because it's so ball dominant. We need structure. We need to play at the right pace, and Lonzo Ball is going to bring that. He's going to get everyone involved and make everyone around him better. And ball movement was definitely an inconsistent thing this season, and it kind of has been an inconsistent thing the last 5 seasons. So he definitely will bring team basketball. So yeah, good defensive player, someone who could really pass the basketball. There's some concerns with dribble penetration, but his jump shot looks a lot better. He can shoot it off the catch. He can shoot it off the dribble. You know, he has that little step back in his arsenal since the UCLA days. But another thing here, like, do you really want to pay him that money? Do you really want to pay him over $18 million a year or over $16 million a year? Like, of course, you're paying someone based off of like what you think they could be in the future. If the Knicks really think he could be our point guard in the longevity or long term, then you pay him that money. If you think he could stay healthy and he could be that guy and lead them to consecutive like times in the playoffs, really go to the playoffs on a consistent basis and be that guy who could run the show. Because this is someone that's not really going to be extremely vocal out there. He's not going to be extremely vocal. He isn't this raw type of guy. He's very even keel, like I said in interviews. But if you think he could be that guy, pay him. If you're that desperate for a point guard, I know I am. We haven't had a point guard in a very long time, unless you want to address it in the draft. So is he worth the money? If he ends up staying healthy, I think he could end up developing as a player. Some people don't like how he raps behind the scenes. which gets us into another thing. Is there a big time distraction with a LeVar Ball out there? You think about LeVar Ball, he said all this stuff when he was in LA, but he kept his mouth shut when he went to New Orleans. That's something I really don't like. This man was drafted in 2017. He's a grown man, and LeVar speaks for him. That's another reason, like, apparently Lonzo's not staying in New Orleans, or he doesn't want to go back there, is because his dad doesn't want to be there. So did LeVar only keep his mouth shut because he went to New Orleans? It's not a big market. No one's really going to be talking to him. Is he going to start talking again when he goes to New York? Is he going to say Lonzo's going to deliver the Knicks like their first ever championship? I really do like Lonzo Ball. I think it's a good fit in the pick and roll, pushing it downhill, talented basketball player, and he's still young. This dude was just drafted in 2017, not like he's 30 years old. And I love Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose isn't the answer. We just saw it's like not his fault that he really didn't play the greatest last night. Like, he just got burned out. This is someone who is older. This is someone who has injury history. There's no longevity with Derrick Rose. Nice bench player, and maybe he could teach Lonzo Ball some things offensively. That's another thing right there. But I really wouldn't mind Lonzo Ball when it comes to the fit. He's just not going to be that guy who's going to get you a bucket, like buckets like Curry. I know no one really gets buckets like Curry, but if you're looking for that explosive point guard that's going to score all the time, no. But he is a good athlete. He has become a better shooter of the basketball, good defensive player, great passer of the ball, plays at the right pace. But there is still some concerns. Sometimes he could like make boneheaded like mistakes towards the end of games. We saw that in crunch time, especially in the Knicks game and another game I watched. I believe it was versus the Grizzlies. But yeah, let me know down below, would you sign Lonzo Ball out there? And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.